children from the ages of 14. There's a lot of misinformation out there around sex trafficking and how it happens. It really can happen to anyone. It's not always chains and physical imprisonment. Most of the time, it's fear, threats. There are many reasons and no two stories are the same. For me, I responded to an advert for a modelling job. I had absolutely no idea what I was getting into. I was quite naive, still into Disney. To cut my story short, the guy from the ad came to my home and took some photos of me, eventually telling me to remove my clothes. I was shocked, and from that moment a fear set in. I did what he told me to because I was there. Shocked, and from that moment a fear set in. He went on to rape me in my own home. From there on it only got worse. He used the photos he had taken of me to blackmail me into the meeting other men for him. It didn't happen every day. I was still able to return home when he was done with me. I wasn't locked in a basement. Eventually he sold me on to another trafficker and it kind of skyrocketed from there. I was being raped by at least 8 different men every single day. Again, I wasn't locked away. I still returned to my own home. I went through 11 pregnancies, I self-harmed, I attempted suicide. Some men were worse than others. Some were incredibly violent and some were nice to me. Sometimes it's hard to spot who is using trafficked people. Sometimes it's a taxi driver, sometimes it's a builder, even those in power. How easy it would be to spot if they all look like monsters. But unfortunately, it's just not that simple. The same applies to victims. While traffickers spot vulnerabilities and prey on those, we still need to keep in mind that it can happen to anyone. Maybe even someone you know has been through it and you have absolutely no idea. How would you support someone if they told you they had been through it? Believing someone when they tell you this is happening to them can make the biggest difference to them personally. Supporting them, whatever they decide to do about it, actively listening to them, respecting their decision if they decide not to report. These things are also important. It took me a long time, a lot of therapy and a lot of patience to get where I am now. I am okay now. I always say I am one of the lucky ones. Some can't say that they are okay. Some don't survive. Some say I am one of the lucky ones. Some can't say that they are okay. Some are. Some end up affected in a way that negatively impacts the rest of their lives. Some go on to really fight against trafficking. Everyone's process and outcome is unique. So what can you do to help? Read about trafficking, not just what you see online and mainstream media. Listen to survivor stories. Look at different organisations that support trafficking victims or raise awareness. One I regard highly is Medell Trust. They supported me and the work they do with the victims is just amazing. Donate to organisations that do actively support victims. Talk to your friends and family about the things to learn. Just keep talking, spreading awareness, learning the signs. Look on the Modern Slavery Helpline website because you might be able to spot a situation that requires action and you might be the only one to put an end to somebody else's hell. You can report suspicion to the police and make a report to the local authority. Obviously, in urgent situations, it's 999. You can also make an online report on the Modern Slavery Helpline website as well. All of that, there is an app through Unseen that enables you to report trafficking. There's just no reason for you to say you couldn't do anything. You can, just don't look away and never think to yourself, it doesn't happen on my street. Let me go. I really recommend you buy that book. Get it on Amazon if you've not already. Well done, Joe.
Yes!
Tiara Lee, and she's going to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And you think of all them children that are missing. Think of the young children.
you get me message? What
Save our children.
Can everyone give it a round of applause?